finds in store for you tonight. One of my absolute favorites is coming up right around the corner. It's called Appetite. I happen to own this. I have an Appetite ring that I adore. The original ring was over $1,000. It's the rough Appetite like this. It's not the, it's like this. Anyway, this is one of the most amazing values I've ever seen. So this is coming up. It's Appetite. So stay tuned for that. That's not the right graphic for it. Stay tuned. We'll be talking about that coming up. But right now, we're going to show you red coral like you've never seen before. This is red coral that is so sparkly.
It's almost like a cherry color to it. It's a very vivid, high bright.
Beautiful, Jay.
Right. And here's the thing. Okay, red is a power color, but this particular red is super power. You know, you can just feel the energy off of this. You can feel, you know, like even working with this when we were cutting it and we had the rough material. When we're actually working with it, you can just kind of like feel energetic. If you've ever noticed, like anytime, like especially politicians or somebody who's trying to get your attention, right? What are they? And this goes for everybody. What are they? They're wearing that red power tie, or they're wearing that red blouse, or they're wearing that red accent. They do that for a reason. Right? Okay. Yeah, there's a reason that they do that, okay? It's an eye catcher. You know, when I was first starting out, when I was in my 20s, I used to drive, you know, I'd fly everywhere. I'd run a plane, fly everywhere. But I would go make my rounds, like to all the galleries and stuff. And I had this, bought this white Cadillac, okay? And I'm not really a Cadillac kind of guy, but I bought this white Cadillac, and it had a bright cherry red leather interior. I used to drive this thing for days. No coffee, no nothing. You would never fall asleep. You know, you just had energy all the time. I finally put so many miles on it, you know, I just had to, you know, get rid of it. I mean, I had like probably 150,000 miles on this thing. We used to call it Moby Dick because it was white and it was red leather interior. And you have to know me. I mean, I'm not a Cadillac kind of guy, right? I'm more of a Jeep kind of guy or a big truck kind of guy. But and then I finally
did you have the big bull horns on the front?
Yeah, you could have put that. It was like something out of, you know, like the Dukes of Hazzard.
That's
for sure.
Hysterical.
But was amazing with it because it was that color. You had tremendous energy all the time.
Right.
And, you know, I've never had another red leather interior car in my life. And that's the only thing I can think of that. Of course, I was a lot younger then.
And of course, that had to be like the 80s.
Was it the 80s, actually?
Oh, the 70s. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, 76, to tell you the truth.
See, that red leather seems like it would fit in back then. You don't see red leather seats anymore.
Well, it was used. I mean, it was used. But it didn't have a lot of miles. I mean, it was a keeper.
Okay, one thing, Jay. Did you have this on earlier?
No.
Okay. Okay, so 300 of these have been like pre-ordered almost. If you would like to order this, this is another example of one. This visit only, it's $69.90. When you get this, you're going to be so blown away by this coral. I've never seen coral that twinkles and sparkles, and it feels, it has such density.
Feel the weight of it,
Yeah, this is lightweight. This is, it feels like rubies. This is reviewed at perfect 5 stars across the board. There's only 3 reviews out of all the reviews that are not perfect 5. And 2 of those are 4 stars. So this is a huge customer favorite.
If you feel this.
And it's the lowest price. At that price, you need to be quick, quick, quick. These will sell out when it's gone. I don't know that we can get this one back or not.
Yeah, I cannot get this material.
You can't. Okay.
This was like a one-shot gig we did. But to get this, when I got this material, it actually, at first, I didn't think it was coral. And we had it tested. I thought this has got to be something that they've impregnated with some kind of glass, or they've done something to the rough material. Because when we got the rough, it's like double the weight. You never find coral that's this dense. This is super, super dense, and that's why it'll take the faceting. You never see me hardly ever facet coral, okay? There's a reason for that, right? It has to be a certain hardness, otherwise it will not take a faceting. And we facet this the same way you facet diamonds. We facet with diamond lap wheels. That's how they do that. Each one of these beads, you can see, every one of them is different, uniquely different in their own right. These are all hand done. This is not done on some big machine. This isn't the Willy Wonka chocolate factory here where we throw some material in one side, somebody pulls a lever and it comes out the other side. These are all done by hand, one at a time. All the graduating, everything like this, these are all hand cut from the rough stock. And we get everything in the rough stock. It comes as a rough piece of coral. and then we take that, they block it out, and then they cut the individual beads. But here again, this is not done on some machine that they just pull down the wheel. They're all individually hand cut. And if you saw the close-up there.
And this coral dates back, was harvested back in the 70s and 80s.
That's what late 70s, early 80s.
That's when it was harvested. That's why you don't see it like this anymore. And as Jay said, this is not, you know, there will be a day in the not-so-distant future when this coral won't even be available to us. It's not unlike, you know, ivory or tortoiseshell or something like that they absolutely no longer are able to get. Coral, of course, is something that is already regulated, highly regulated, so it's not something that's easy to import. I can only imagine what a headache it is.
It's all covered under the CITES program. The CITES program is where over 150 countries got together and they said, okay, we're not going to allow the importation of this. The harvest, they set all the rules, all the species, and it's to protect the environment. It's just highly regulated. There is no really new harvest going on of any of this. Even the sea bamboo and all those type of materials are very, very limited. You're not really getting them. There's all kinds of genus species that go on this. Just like I know where there's like 3 tons of blue coral. I know where it is. I could go right to it. Here's the thing. Absolutely worthless. You cannot do anything. It was harvested illegally. It has no CITES permits with it. You can't touch it. If you buy it, who are you going to sell it to? You can't import it. You can't do anything with it.
I don't know that I've ever in my whole career seen coral like that.
Well,
that sparkle, because it's never hard enough to facet like this.
To take the fasting. But if you feel this, you know, normally coral, you know,
cold.
Well, okay,
Coral
look at the size. Okay,
warm.
look at the size of this chunk. Okay, feel that.
This is a good example.
Okay, but if we could reach out to you and hand this to you.
Like
and
this,
show you.
Isn't that interesting?
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's
and how,
so dense.
That's why I thought they'd done something to the rough when I first got it, because I thought there's something you've done to this to add weight, because you never get coral that's this dense, but this is just naturally that dense.
And I love the size of it. We'll show it again on Stacy so you can see. It's a beautiful size. It's so gorgeous and either layerable or just as a one sleek, beautiful red pop to bring all that gorgeous color up to your face, but it's a real easy everyday size. These will sell out. 760 have been spoken for with everybody on the phone. There's about 200 left, so don't wait. I hope you get it. Jay cannot get this one back, guys.
I can't.
This is it. It's bye-bye to this beautiful necklace.
I can't get this material. I have no access to any of this. Was kind of one of those fluke deals that we got. But look on Stacy and look how beautiful your eye goes right to that, right? And that's because it's a power color. It's an energy color. And I got to tell you, man, when you're wearing red, it's one of those colors that you want to, just a splash of red like that will get you noticed. It really was. And that's why you see so many politicians or business people or somebody when they're out there and they're really, really trying to get your attention, you'll see
job interviews, all of that.
Some kind of interview where they're really, you know, when they want your attention.
Speakers love to wear red.
And they do that for a reason. They do that because people know red's a power color, and they know that your eyes are going to focus, and that shows you have energy, that, you know, you're vibrant, and that's why they do it. There's whole studies done on it.
Absolutely. Okay, we're going to try to squeeze in a call before these sell out completely. We have maybe 100 left with everybody ordering, but Lorraine is on hold to say hello to us. She's up in New York. Hi, Lorraine. It's Colleen. Meet J.K.
Hi, Colleen.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How long have you been collecting Jay's pieces?
Oh, God. It's probably about a year or two.
Cool.
Nice.
Yes. And I just got some of the jewelry about a month ago that Jay is showing tonight. The ring, the turquoise ring.
Where it flips over?
With the back of it, the purple turquoise.
Yeah.
And also the leather chain with the pendant.
Yeah, that flips over, that's reversible?
Yes, and I got the ring that Colleen has on.
Oh, awesome, Lorraine.